Hello. Hi. I am trying something, but it's basically to the extent of trying to learn something on the fly and then just adding it. Let's see how this works. Because torch splashes. And then this one is supposed to be. Today I thought we would work on what I want for trying to think and do things at the same time is not recommended. First off, this is my test world. Because I didn't know if I wanted to play around with ideas for things to build in here first and kind of get ideas and we can work on it together. As I think what I'm going to do. Because here I got doggy talents next. But I wasn't able to get domestic innovation working. So for now, all of my kittens will indefinitely be held hostage here until I can secure that for them. But this is my puppy pack from after the stream ended, and then this is a floppy-eared pup. But as for what we're going to do today, I thought I've decided that this needs to be significantly bigger. So I intend on doing something like this. Let's see if I can't pull up my reference photos so we're all on the same page. Let's see, this one is kind of my first thought. So this is kind of what I'm playing with. It's something like this. So like the sun is coming through on the top and going into, I suppose it'd be a lush cave. Hold on, if I tap into my... It is very pretty. I have no idea who made it. Probably Tatsumik. Let me edit this. Because I should be able... Hold on, not that. It will be source. Display source. And I want to grab... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Wrong source. Yes. Let's see, it will be a... Display capture. Window capture. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. And I want you on there. Woo! Let me... I'm going to balance things. It's gonna look ugly and then it will look fine, I promise. Because there's what you see and then there's what I see. Okay. Let me move this back to where it was. And that's good, right? You should be able to see here. You can't see my pointer though. That'd be interesting. Hold on. Properties, capture cursor. It does have capture cursor, but it's on my other whatchamacall, monitor. So that's fine. I just want this little tiny column to be seen. So that way it's not confusing. So there's that one, and then there was... And then... This is the other image that I'm looking at. Or like this one. Yeah, this is the exact one I have. Oh, there's my cursor. You can see my cursor now. Haha. So there's kind of like a pond here in these images. So mixing these two, I thought I could do something like that. That's not doing what I wanted it to. Oh well. But it's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, lush cave. It's a little bit easier to see kind of what I'm thinking about. So if this is like the opening of the crystal cave here, you know, waterfalls, ponds, and then bridges going across the pond. So we should have, because I'm thinking of digging it down deeper, because there's so much cave to like manage here. But if I dug it down deeper to where the pond is actually down here, and then this whole space is just open, and this is where the light streams in. But if this is more open and the pond is on, or the lake, because I want the lake to be kind of deep. I want to play around with some of the things we can decorate water builds with now. So if I'm honest with myself, I actually think I need to close this up a little bit. I'm happy with this overhang here, but I'm not happy with the overhang I'm standing on. And I thought I would try to mimic what's happening over there here. So like I build up. So I would build up the dirt a little bit more and then dig out from underneath here. So that way it's more like a lip is coming over the top. If I make this more of a hill, I imagine it kind of continues on this ravine divot part. And then it just kind of opens up, so where this goes down really deeply. And then this is like a little lip that comes over top, and this is a little lip that comes over the top. But this is just a giant cavity, and it goes down into the lake below. Okay. Now I'm going back to playing with the overlay that I'm trying to create. It's so tall. I'm not a fan of it. I feel like here, this is what I'm doing. Dun 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 dun. Still not working. Da, 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 da. Can you see this just like solid black rectangle there on the screen? So it would be like right here. Just the blue outline. Oh, look, look. Okay, so it is kind of working. Hold on. I just need... Why is it so long? Wow, it's you. It's like so tall. I'm not a fan of how tall it is. Wonder if I can just force it. There we go. Just force it all the way up there. Chat punishment corner. I'd prefer if it like, I don't know, maybe it's just because there's not that many chatters, but it's like it's really large. Why are you so big? Whee! There you go. Can you see yourself now? Hmm. Oh yeah, the outline part, the red outline part. And then the box is like so small. Let me pull it up. Actually, it's right here, isn't it? Oh, yeah, there we go. It's like, hold on. It's like smushed into the corner. Why are you like this? Don't be smushed. And then I have to wait for it to update because it's so slow. Oh no, interesting. Alright, well, I will play around with that. later. But for all cases and purposes of trying to make it so that way, at the very least, I have some form when I record or take the streams and turn them into videos. At least people who are watching the video will know that I'm not just talking to myself, I am talking to an actual person. Exactly. Alright, well, I'll play with that and make it look as I desire later. So if I go back to my images, would you prefer, because I'm in survival, and so it would take, we know how long it takes to dig out this, but I think I'm gonna do that maybe later. And then with you, let's play around with maybe build ideas. I don't know if I can make TNT. I don't have enough gunpowder, and gunpowder requires killing things, and I'm not exactly great at killing things. Where my mob thing is. Also, I do need gunpowder for dog bones. Is there a paper recipe for TNT? Apparently that's a thing, but I don't know if that's version. Where did you come from? Oh, right. Huyunari left me again. Make a creeper farm. I've never actually made a creeper farm. I have no idea where to even start. But I guess, you know, that's the part of learning, right? I have to learn somehow, some way, eventually, at some point. Ugh. Okay, I wonder, because that was, you remember in, what was it, the past life, this past time? Where Grian was like, oh, the paper recipe for TNT. I don't know why I'm taking sand from my beautiful little river over there when I have discovered I quite literally, truly have a desert all the way over here. The desert that will slowly disappear from existence because I require its items. I was gonna say something else, but the word left my mind. Yeah, you almost kind of have to. I'm not sure I'm going to get anything like Craft Tweaker or certain things that changed the true and full essence of Minecraft. I still want to retain kind of like the little struggles that you kind of almost take for granted in vanilla Minecraft. Because it just makes it's like it's a different type of gameplay at that point, you know? And since I haven't actually played, like, yeah, since I haven't actually played vanilla Minecraft first, I feel like I should probably get used to base Minecraft before I try to take on anything like in exploring other things. Okay. None of my dogs are Doggy Talents dogs yet. Yay. So they're kind of like being hidden in a corner until I can decide that I can be trusted with a dog again. What am I doing? What? Okay. I'm tired. My brain is tired. I'm really tired. Have I mentioned that I'm tired? Oh boy. Oh, I got these from the village. The bluegrass. I'm pretty sure, I think the bluegrass is actually a biome thing, but I think it's also caused by the fact that it should be winter right now because I do have the seasons mod. So yeah, so the forest and then plains. So the forest gets all blue colored. That is true though. I just got rid of my food. Good job, Emmy. But it's not too terribly big. It's just a small little area. Oh, there's more cave. Seasonal lush cave. Yeah. Yeah. That would require moving the opening though. Because this is a natural formation. And I guess I could just cover it up or fill it in. I guess I could move it over, but since it is seasonal, it could be like the blue side over here, and then this could be more greeny. Yeah. I like the whimsical too. Currently, I think the biggest struggle I'm battling with is the thought that I want to have this opening. Whoops, I forgot I have chat there now. Whoop. I want to have this opening, but that also leads to the question of how do you get into the base to enjoy this? Because the other one kind of has like staircases, I guess. You can kind of see it going down the wall. I might do something like that. My building style, Elytra for aesthetics. Maybe? I could just crash land into the pond all the time. How is the audio, by the way? Because I kind of fixed it the last time, and then I didn't necessarily change it. Okay, nice. Because, like, I've noticed that the audio balance of what it sounds like on recording is significantly different to what the audio balance sounds like to myself. So some things sound loud to me, but they're not actually that loud on the recording. I have a crafting table in my inventory. Okay. And I randomly have iron in here. Great. So much for organization, right? It will be organized, I promise. Mark my words. Okay. I did look back on the kind of like recording that I had for the last stream last week though, and I was beside myself in amusement because when that strange like lightning thunderstorm started happening, I was beside myself squealing, but my voice cut out because it always cuts out all the time. I have such a dynamic voice, it's super hard to balance it all the time. Right, food. I should probably collect food. I also definitely intend on having my animals away from my normal place of operations because I'm not sure I could handle this all the time. I do usually have... Yeah, I already have friendly creatures pretty quiet. They're just, I don't know, their splash noises happen way too frequently for me to keep my sanity. Okay. Silence them more. Gladly, I think I will. Because I like hostile creatures just because I like to know when they come up on me, and then of course I have the weather, so that way it sounds like I can actually enjoy the peaceful rain rather than being like psh. But I like the hostile creatures because then I know when I'm potentially being attacked. Ah, isn't that so much better? Okay. I'll tell you what I do need is I was considering the fact that I dreadfully need to get like maybe a beacon or efficiency on my pickaxes because I will tell you what. I'm definitely experiencing why those things were introduced to the game to begin with. And for that, I need an enchantment table, which I'm pretty sure I can create now. There's just so many things that I need to do and so many things that I could do that I'm not sure what to do first. And it's like, I want to do my base first, but then all of the things that I could do are for the purpose of making building the base quicker and more efficient. So it almost feels counterintuitive to not do the other things first. It's like the concept, like getting a beacon requires mining to build said beacon. Did you see that? Just fly off into the ends of the earth. That's true. That's true. It's just all of this grindy stuff is new to me. I don't know what to tackle first. My iron pickaxe is already almost dead. Let's see. I'm not quite sure it's lagging per se. It's just kind of existing. It does have its moments though, because tech is on the bandwidth at the moment. Rest in peace, vanilla. There's just iron everywhere. There's also just cave pockets everywhere. Where do we want the like lid, the cap to start on this side is my question. Because I really love the view of the sky in my texture pack. Like the night skies are beautiful, especially the sunsets too. Not sure. Because I do want to play with, there's a lot of textures in this texture pack that have emissive textures, and it's just very beautiful. So I really like glowy things. And I mean, look at this beautiful night. It's gorgeous. I always get hit first. That's just how bad I am. I'm not quite sure I deserve to say I'm very good at this. At all. It's glowy. That was really scary. Yes, I'm going to bed. I'm not exactly excited about the prospect of having my face eaten off by a bunch of flesh-eating zombies. Oh no, I'm on fire. Whatever will I do? It's the end of the world. Ah! So you said that you like the where the lip currently is. I wonder then if I just dug underneath the grass. We can start there and see how that looks. Because I'm not exactly married to the concept of these two tunnels either. Suppose I'll go collect my torches. Whoops. I pressed the jump. I promise. I promise I pressed the jump. I did it. Okay. Dig beneath? Yeah. What a sick burn. I was on fire, what can I say? This girl was on fire. Let's pretend I never said that. So I have been working on my book again for the first time in a hot minute, and I'm sorting through because I'm not very satisfied. I haven't ever really been satisfied with the current premise and setting that I have for my both protagonists and antagonists, and the evil group and the good group or whatever, because I have it very complicated, and I like that. I intended for that, but I definitely made it a little too complicated, I think, to the point where I started confusing myself and losing kind of what it was that I wanted to do. So I've essentially torn apart my world building and have, like, if you even call it that, I'm like starting afresh without starting afresh. It's kind of like an overhaul of all my notes and what I've done so far, and simplifying it without simplifying it. Because if you look at it objectively, it's still complicated, and it's probably more complicated than what it used to be, but for me and all purposes of my own, it's divided in a more simplified manner, like a way that's more easily consumed by both author and reader. I always do that. Can I not? Right, yeah. Because then you start getting into the land of, and I'm pretty sure that's where I had gotten to, was the point where it made sense to me, but only because I had previous knowledge. For someone who didn't have previous knowledge, then it would be awfully complicated and confusing. I'm pretty sure it's gonna lead to me rewriting my first chapter all over again for like the 20th time. Because even though it's like I'm satisfied and happy with the first chapters, I usually end up changing them because I'm like, oh, but you know what? because of the foundation and the core of like the situation of the Nightshade family versus Farron's family, which is the Silver family, and like how the intricacies and the relationships of that works out. It's like I haven't been able to get past the first chapter because I know that that's where a lot of things are first introduced. And if the foundation is wrong, then the building is just gonna topple down. Yeah. And it almost feels like what I would certainly call the refining process. Because that's what it definitely feels like, is I'm just forging the metal and the idea and getting closer and closer to the finished product that I desire. I mean, I've already... I was building the world for over a decade. Now I just have to do more world building and play with the first chapter for over a decade, right? That's how it works for me, right? Pretty sure that's how it works for me. Whoop. I did it again. Do we like this cavity, or do we want to go that direction a little bit? Because I think I filled it in that direction a little bit more. Right, yes. That's another thought that I have. Is the first chapter is your hook. And then the second chapter is your line to tie people into the story. And then the chapters after that is supposed to be the sinker to keep them down underwater, enjoying the ocean of ideas that you are now sinking them into. Kind of... You know what? What if that's the entrance? Can make a natural staircase over to that indent. Chat is really behind, even after I set it to the no delay on the chat overlay. That was something that I noticed when I was looking over it a bit. Okay, I think this is the direction that I pointed in. I think I'm starting to discover that my biggest problem is that I change my ideas and start moving too swiftly for the cruel realization that chat is too slow to keep up with me. Can you hear the rain? Isn't it pretty? It's a minute behind. Okay, then I will wait for a whole minute, maybe, I do have a counter for you to answer my comment on the rain. I actually think I want it raised a little bit more. Okay, nice. Yeah, that's nice. It's pretty. I love the rain. It always makes me sad when I try to look up, you know, like, not soundtracks per se, but those things where you're supposed to be able to, yeah, I almost don't want to go to sleep. But you like look up and try to find soothing ring soundtracks, and you just kind of stare at it and be like, this is not what I would describe as soothing. What rain do you listen to? But yes, this is certainly what I would call soothing, and it makes me happy. Every game needs a good soothing rain, my opinion. Oh, there's iron. I'm certainly not going to be hurting for iron. You want to hear the cries of your victims through the ring pouring around you, huh? I think I'm heading the right direction. Should probably get up and find out. But I'm pretty sure this is the right direction. What? How does that work? Maybe I am lagging more than I think. Yeah. Okay. This is truly ASMR now. a little steep. I think I'm discovering why shields were added. Night craves violence. Indeed. surviving the night achieved. Indeed, indeed, indeed I did. And I got to enjoy the beautiful rain the entire time. That's a success in my books. I did something. Yeah. I suppose it's certainly nice that shields block both melee and range damage, so I can see the appeal now. after having dealt with that. I can certainly see the appeal. Good job, Penny. You tried. It would have been hilarious if I died. And this is a little too steep for my liking. But I also don't want to connect it straight into... Thank you, thank you. But I also don't want to connect it straight into the cave there. It might be nice though. I intend on having the stables there. Give me things. I want this to bend a little bit more. That would have been hilarious. Oh wow, you lived. Precious. You cursed me, eagle. I am now in my grave. Oh, you were just wanting to participate in the punishment, weren't you? You were hoping that I would perish so that way we could come up with some kind of game or event that I needed to do, weren't you? I see how it is. I see how it is. I imagine you would probably come up with some pretty insane punishments, so that concept, that prospect actually scares me a little bit. Not gonna lie. We could have a ledge here. And then... That's all you have to say for yourself. That's like the equivalent of having this full-blown conversation. I ask a ton of questions for you, and then all you send is I mean, you would certainly come up with interesting punishments. I'm sure they would be very entertaining for the ones watching. As for the one doing the punishment, I might have to get back to you on that. Oh, there can be a tiny pool here, too. On this ledge. How about that? That would be cool. What do we like about the ledge pool? Where did I put stuff? Here. Winky face. I would never. Ledge pool is very good. Wow, you're right. That is a grand chat delay, isn't it? Could finish an entire song before you finally get back to me with an answer. Snowflake is very determined to try and get into my lab. Unfortunately for her, the answer is no. Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm not sure if Eagle can hear you, but I'm talking about you. Mm-hmm. Chat delay is very rough. At least now we have like a better thought of why I answer and reply so long. Wants to play as a treat. That was one thing that I was noticing when I was watching the replays was, you know, you would say something and you actually, the chat would appear right as soon as I had asked the question in the live chat, but I wouldn't reply or answer until much later. Okay, fine, come here. Yes, we all know you're the star. We all know that since I was a kid, since I started doing this, you were always in my lap. You were also always able to do what you wanted. And I had to listen to you because you're the princess cat. You know, I even have a video out there labeling you as the princess cat. I hope you know that. And I hope you appreciate it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tell me all about it. Tell us all about it. Yes. You have been fed. What? Are you wanting me to pet you? I hope you know that if I pet you, I can't play as quickly or as well. I can dig, I just won't be able to move. If I get attacked by something and I die, do I get to blame you? No, don't care. Okay. What? Yeah, cat gaming. Cat gaming it is. I have a noise suppressor on my mic, which is why I'm pretty sure you weren't able to hear me when I was like high-pitched speaking, squealing to myself last week when the thunderstorm happened. I haven't actually tested it yet, but it would be interesting if you can hear Snowflake despite the noise suppressor, because it's for my keyboard. Alright, fine. I don't want to deal with monsters tonight. Make her do the punishment. I'm not sure she would appreciate that, but that'd actually be interesting. Hold on. Why am I actually considering this thought? You would just hear her complaining the entire time because I'd be using her paws to press the keys. And she'd just be like, "What are you doing, human? Unhand me this instant." Oh, there you go. Eagle can hear you. Don't you feel so included? I don't think I've placed blocks ever so fast in my life. Okay, this is Vanilla's grave. Do we want to dig this out, or I guess it'd be digging out, huh? Because we have to go into the lake below. This whole floor is gonna be gone, so I might as well dig this out. Might as well, might as well. You tell Eagle all about it. Get right up and close to that mic. Do you hear that, Snowflake? You're being wrapped up into my punishment game. She does not care. Oh, really? You sounded a little squeaky there. She's like, I don't care as long as I get pet. And now we're sharing tongues. You know, sharing tongues was an interesting... was an interesting concept in Warriors. Because whenever I pet a Snowflake, she like it's almost instinctive where she wants to start licking or grooming me as well, and so I've like a part of me wants to think that it's an actual like instinct of theirs, and they just took that concept, the errands, and called it sharing tongues. I see you staring at me. I stopped petting you, didn't I? Fine, I'm not moving. I'll start petting you again. I will groom the princess The princess asks. I see. I intend on making a kind of like memorial statue. I'll have to play around with organics because I don't build organics very often, if like at all. I think maybe I used to, the little blocky kind. But I wanted to do this. Okay. Let's see. I currently can't get out of my own home. What's such a weird term? Oh, sharing tongues? Yeah? Yeah, that is certainly not something you want to say to someone who has no idea what you're talking about, huh? Especially if you're someone like me and the concept of romantic endeavors is very just disturbing and disgusting to me. Those, first off, my stance is those things need to be done in private, not dramatized or publicized. Yeah, right. Okay. I intend on having collecting all of the horses around me. There are so many horses. And turning this kind of hill cavern area into a bit of the ranch. I'm experimenting, by the way, with fighting. Never leave the cave. I mean, that was actually the original intent and purpose of digging into the earth, was because I didn't trust myself with the surface. I kept dying. I'm starting to slowly trust myself with the surface. It is to be seen whether this is a smart idea or not, but I'm doing pretty well so far. But I had initially never intended on leaving the cave. That's why I never traveled the world and to see just how cool and awesome it was around me. So if I dig that portion out and it turns into the lid, and then this comes up into here, should I blow this top off maybe? Because then it would be kind of open-faced. And then this could be the pasture, maybe. So where is that cool pillar and tunnel? Here. See, and I kind of wanted this to like end here, so it was just that one little well, I certainly showed that pig who's boss. It becomes a tunnel, and I'm not sure if I'm married to the... Again?! I mean, I guess I have discovered that I do actually have quite a few villages around, but... I mean, they're walking away. It's like they know what I did to my very first, whatever it's called. They're just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with her. She's too much. Yeah. Get off my lawn. Get. Anyways. It does lead into the cave. But as you can see, this is getting really low. So I feel like... I almost feel like... Because this goes down. Whoop. I almost feel like it connects it more to this level. Hold on. This is level 67. So then I can just fill the top here if that's the case. Okay. Yeah, see, I didn't know that when it first happened. I actually researched it. Oh yeah, look. So like right here is 67. Whoops. So if I just kept the gradual incline, then I can just fill the top tunnel there and enter straight into the cave. And then where's the other entrance? And then this is where I could ride out of the stables, maybe? Then I can open this up, kind of be like Dragon Village style, where that's the entrance from home. The stables are here. I can block that off if I need to. And then we just ride out into the sun. Here. What do you think about that? Okay. What do we think about that? Emmy? That was weird. For some reason I was like, wow, this is so much more open than I thought. Make top tunnel a waterfall? Let's see about that. Maybe. Because it would be a nice way to introduce the... It would be a nice way to introduce the concept of... whatchamacall? Lush Cave. I was about to say Moist Cavern, and I was like, let's not call it the Moist Cavern. That's very much a no. Moist Cavern. That's kind of cool. We'll put a waterfall in its place. I'm not quite sure I follow. Like directly where it is, because that's the direction that the tunnel goes. It could wrap around here maybe. Like the river source comes here, tumbles down, and then can either trickle into the pond or it just ends and then there's a pond over here. What were you thinking? Because it's not clicking in my head. New moist caverns. No, don't say that. I'm sure I need pine cones for something else. No reason why I came over here. I think I'm following. Aesthetically though, rather than having all the water here and then into the pond, maybe I would have it have like a surface lake here in this side. Have the waterfall come down, and then this will be more like a bridge and the river can run under it. So like lake, waterfall, river, pond, and then down into the second lake. So there's like 2 lakes. And then it kind of wraps around the whole base. Maybe? Because otherwise, my thought goes into turning that place over there. Good. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. As it like the lake starts over somewhere. Maybe there, maybe somewhere else. And then Yeah. I like that. That's not bad. Too straight for my liking. Right. Lots of moisture. Thought that, so this, you know, it really should be said that once you get too far away from spawn in a Minecraft world, you really do start seeing very strange things. I'm just gonna say. Just gonna say. Well moisturized cave. Right. I mentioned making a statue of some sort for vanilla. So the caves are here, or not the caves, the stables. Stables are here. I actually tamed vanilla way over yonder in this forest. I thought that it would be kind of sentimental to bring the dogs over here, and then this can just be their like play area. But as you can see, it's not exactly the safest place to tidy up. And probably not great living space. But maybe I could incorporate this idea. Cause I'm pretty sure I tamed vanilla like right there. Because I remember there being chickens for some reason, I want to say. I could bring in elements here. But I also don't want the pups to be too far away. Because I still want to, you know, be able to access them quickly when we go on a journey. I nearly just fell in there. But yeah, there's a lot of ponds on the surface already. Make it a protected forest. Yeah. The question now, though, is, because it's really far away, there's forest behind me, but there's also forest here. So in terms of, like, it being blue during this winter, then I could have a sanctuary here and just bring over those elements so that way they're right here next to me. And then when I have my entrance, I've got horses, I've got the stables, and I've got the sanctuary. Yeah. Do the forest right next to the cave. That's what I was thinking. You gotta get out of here soon. Seems like it's coming across that point. We're nearing the end. I think I want to curve this more. And then I can have entrance to the stables, entrance to the sanctuary. I'm not sure what to do with the kittens. I was thinking maybe I could make a jungle, but since they're not ocelots anymore, cats are their own thing. Maybe I could just sit them down in random places, because I'm still struggling to get domestication innovation working. It's just like straight up not even loading on its own. So I'm still having to troubleshoot what is its problem. So I might be able to get domestication innovation, in which case they would be able to wander around. Yeah, 2 hours is certainly nice. It works for you, and it also works for me because my wrist is starting to to tap out and be like, "Excuse me, I haven't done this in such a long time. Do you really think that I'm gonna do this?" First off, what is this mining thing that you're doing? Yeah, I played with the concept of making a cat cafe, but I immediately shelved the idea because that's not a me thing. It's a thing that exists, but it's not very me. For the sanctuary, I intend on having it kind of designed like a more natural whimsy version of a dog daycare that I worked at, where each pup had their own little room, and then they had access to the yard. It will look absolutely nothing like the dog daycare that I worked at, but the concept of each pup having its own room, and then maybe if I really wanted to take it the next step, I could design it, personalize it to each pup and whatever talents they learn. Don't get curled. Exactly. So when you leave, then I leave, and it's like a nice little personal agreement to be like, okay, yeah, we're done now. So then maybe I could do that with the kittens as well, to where maybe like a, because I'm playing with the idea of like a jungle gym, even though they're not ocelots. I can still have it to where almost kind of like a nod of where they came from, so I could have like you can call it like the jungle or something. And they can have their own little spaces too. The cat one I'm still not defined on yet. But I've got more of an idea for the pups. Yeah. I was super excited about getting the floppy-eared vanilla pup, but I also feel like I was having a moment after I had a week to grieve. It made me think that, you know, kind of how you said that we should put vanilla to rest. I think maybe I should try to not force upon the other puppy that they need to follow into Vanilla's footsteps by giving them a name similar to Vanilla. So I'm thinking I should probably give the pup their own name, to give them their own identity, and then Vanilla can really be put to rest, because Vanilla's legacy can be simply continued on by having the dog pack called the Vanilla Pack. The Vanilla Sanctuary. I mean, I kind of did it that time. Let's see. Got them wet. Damaged my torches. That's cute. Bean. Oh, the puppy grew up. So this was a little puppy, or one of them. Where is she actually? Pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was puppy. Also, I've got so many brown pups for some reason. I've got brownie and chocolate and chestnut. That'd be funny though. They're like the brown pup trio. And then I've got a golden, and Sheetle and Koodle. When I first had doggy talents, I had a pup named Koodle, who was, as you might imagine, a black dog. And he was trained in, what was he trained in? I think it was black pelt, so he did more damage. And then Sheetle, Sheetle was my favorite. So when I saw a little baby puppy, I was like, ah, no. And Sheetle was my hellhound. They set things on fire. My absolute favorite though, and I haven't been able to get them again, was a blue merle texture named Joey. He was odd-eyed. I loved him to bits. I made him my creeper sweeper. He was cute and adorable, and it hurts my heart. The person who made the textures that I used seems to have removed them from off the internet. And so when I changed computers over, way back when, I actually lost the textures. So I went to go find them and they weren't there. I mean, I tried to make the impossible possible, you know, trying to find any nook and cranny to where they might have been backported or someone had saved them and re-uploaded them, but no, they're all there. They're not there. There is this one article about someone doing the news on how one day how this person had made the textures and was like supporting and being like, here's where you can find and download the textures, and I was like, yes, I'll find Joey again. But alas, it just redirected me to the page, I think it's Planet Minecraft. And yeah, like, the thing that's painful is that the person's like texture pack and such still exist, the resource pack that they made, but they had the dog textures separate. So if I ever want to see Joey again, I've tried making the texture, but they had it in high definition, and my poor little brain cannot deal with so many little tiny pixels. I've noticed I just don't have the patience for it as much as I did when I was younger, because I used to create new skins for myself all the time, but I haven't done that in forever. And on top of that, I used to try to make seasonal textures, but I also haven't done that in a while. No! No! I'm gonna get punished. No way. No, Eagle's gonna punish me. No. Little did I know she was my good luck charm. Oh, and now it's here thinking that I was safe and everything because I was underneath. Ugh. Wow. Wow. Just wow. I lost so many levels too. I was thinking pretty good about myself and how I was gathering so many levels. As you can see, I'm so devastated. Ugh. I'm gonna get punished. I'm gonna get punished. I don't wanna be punished.